guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Filara Spirit and welcome back to another episode of Manifestation 101. Today we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty, into the fun stuff, which is going to be practical manifestation, you guys. Some tools, some techniques, some things for you to actually have a go at, practice, try for yourself, and just see what happens. It is all about exploration, investigation. Curiosity, you guys, is definitely going to play a big part in this. If we can just be curious, we don't really have anything necessarily to lose apart from maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day here and there, okay? So what we're going to be doing over the next 10 episodes, you guys, is I'm going to be showing you guys my 10 favourite ways, 10 ways that I have tried, that have tested and have worked for me. These are things that I enjoy doing. You guys are going to be able to pick out of these for yourself. This is not about me telling you exactly how to do it, and if you don't do it this way, nothing will happen. This is about me just giving you some insights, some tools and techniques to use for yourself. It's about what works for you. You can also adjust these and adapt them into ways that suit you. You can come up with your own ritual and your own process, your own routine for manifestation. This is what it's all about, you guys, right? But it's going to be fun because it's the practical stuff. So we're going to be trying these things out every single week. If you guys are going to take part, then I'm going to encourage you, as always, to comment down below in the comment boxes, in the comment area. To let me know how things are going for you, things that pop up, things that occur, if you're having signs, synchronicities in alignment with your manifestation, or if you're seeing your manifestation coming through. We kind of want to know all of these things, you guys. Want to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. The more that we talk about it, the more we engage about it, the more it becomes our actual reality, right? Which is also another practical manifestation. But for the first episode today, you guys, we're going to be having a look at my absolute favourite, which is visualization. I have an incredibly active imagination, as I've spoken about several times before. It kind of comes as part of being, you know, artistic and all of those things, expressive. Now, not everybody has this, so again, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with you, right? But what is visualization? So visualization is, of course, the act of imagining something. It is playing some movie, or we do it all of the time when we are assuming the worst of a situation, or when we're worried about something. That is our mind visualizing some future outcome that we're not really wanting, right? If we are hoping for or wishing for or expecting something to happen, and that's what our mind does. It projects this imaginary end result, this outcome, right? And visualization is exactly that. You know, at its simplest form, it is you imagining a scene, imagining a something specific, and that being the manifestation, right? So for example, it could be a loving relationship, it could be a career change, it could be, you know, financial improvement and all of the regular stuff that people want. And of course, it can just be fun stuff too. Like I always say, it can just be a pair of shoes, you guys. It can just be the latest video game that's about to come out. You are allowed to want stupid stuff. Not everything that you want in this world has to be to some kind of grand, huge purpose and destiny, and do you know what I mean? You are who you are, and you are alive in order to be that, to not constantly be becoming it all of the time. Do you know what I mean? So it's not just that bigger stuff, it's going to be that little stuff too, you guys. So the thing is with visualization, more than just imagining something, is about getting physically into the space, emotionally, mentally, energetically, physically, right? And the way I always term this is, think about your dream coming true. Just a dream, it doesn't have to be all the dreams. One small one, one big one, it doesn't matter. You understand that when those things happen, you're going to respond a certain way. You're going to sing louder. You're going to dance. You're going to feel more buzzy, like a soda can that's been shaken up. You're going to sleep a little bit differently because you're going to be excited. You're going to wake up a little bit differently because you're excited. You're going to talk to people with more pizzazz because... think about it, you would not be just going about your normal, everyday, mundane life. You would be effervescent, right? That is acting as if it's already happened. And when it comes to visualization and meditation, that's the point we're trying to get to. We're trying to get to the point where we feel physically, emotionally, and mentally as we would as if it had already happened. And so one of the things we'll be doing, we'll do a meditation alongside this, you guys. I'll be uploading it alongside this too, so you can give this a go. One of the things we're trying to do is engage the senses, right? Now, depending on obviously what the manifestation is, we have touch, we have sight, we have sound, we have smell, and we have taste. Taste is kind of a funny one, you know, but if you're doing some kind of food experience or just manifesting a date at a certain restaurant or something like that, then yeah, you know, we can still incorporate these things. We do it with the chocolate manifestation, where we're just manifesting a piece of chocolate or a piece of candy or a sweet or something. And it really does work, you guys. It's very, very simple. It's an easy way of practicing it. I would highly recommend it. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to ask ourselves, whilst we're in the meditation, to engage those senses in some way or another. Can we imagine what that would feel like? Can we imagine what it's like to hold that chocolate in our hand? Can we imagine what that might smell like, or what something might specifically look like? What you're hearing if you are with somebody in these manifestations, the sound of their voice, the sound of their laughter, the sound of celebration. We want to engage this as much as we possibly can. Now, one point I always make about visualization is, especially when it comes to bigger dreams and bigger goals, I do this myself. If you can get yourself to the point where you are crying tears of joy as if it had already happened, you've hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much to the extent that you can get, is where you are physically in this moment as you are visualizing, crying with joy, whilst you are actually projected into whatever the manifestation is, right? That is probably the ultimate form, right? Now, obviously, it depends on what the manifestation is. You might cry tears of joy if you get the new shoes, you guys, because you really wanted them. But you get my point, right? We're getting as close as we possibly can to the actual literal reaction as if it has already happened. That's visualization. So I want to talk a little bit before we get into the actual practice about why this works. So with visualization, number one, what you're doing is you are showing your mind a positive outcome, which is kind of rare. We are animals, we are primal, and we still have not at all anywhere close to learning how to deal with our survival instinct. So of course, it makes sense that majority of us, even those of us who are open-minded and broader perspectived, we're still going to naturally have that instantaneous jump to a negative conclusion, because it's just our animal brains trying to keep us safe, right? So let me go, but based on everything, all of the knowledge previously and everything that I know about what's dangerous, am I going to be safe, blah, 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 right? But with visualization, you're giving your brain, that part of you, a chance to actually project a positive outcome, right? Which is incredibly beneficial when it comes to dopamine and serotonin and things like that. We're not flushing ourselves with cortisol, or adrenaline, the stress hormones. We're doing it with the happiness hormones, with the hormones of the peace and the serenity and the calm, right? And that's the one thing that is super beneficial when it comes to visualization, especially when you're adding that physical reaction to it as well. But another thing is the brain, especially the subconscious, is incredibly bad at distinguishing between reality and imagination, right? Which is why our dreams can have such an effect on us. We wake up in the morning after our partner slept with somebody in our dreams, and we actually feel the emotional sting of that. Our brains cannot necessarily, most of the time, tell the difference. And if it's super vivid, like a lucid dream, or in a super vivid visualization, it's got no chance. It has no idea that that's not actually happening. Especially if your body is responding and everything else is responding that way, your brain is going to go, well, it must be happening. It must be happening because I'm literally getting all of the signals that it's happening, right? And this is something we leverage in visualization. It's one of my favorite parts about it, is that the idea of it like not being able to distinguish. So the more vivid I make it, the more real I make it in that projection in my mind, the more my brain is kind of tricked. And I kind of love that idea of being able to play with it. It's one of my favorite things about all of this, you guys. And so when your brain has had this experience of this thing having happened, what it will do is it will start responding and influencing certain thoughts and certain behaviors, sometimes in ways that you're not even entirely consciously aware of. And again, it doesn't necessarily happen overnight. You want to practice this. This is a good way of kind of reprogramming your brain. Yeah, and alongside that, you want to take what we discussed earlier in this series and have a look at the subconscious and how the roles that it plays. Because a lot of people will start to get into manifestation and keep hitting that wall all the time where things aren't happening, or it's not in the way that, you know, they pictured, or whatever, which is a broader picture kind of thing here. But usually what's happening is there's some kind of limitation and restriction that is deeply buried in that subconscious. So we want to partner this with dealing with any of those hidden, untied loose ends in our subconscious trauma, our subconscious beliefs, our subconscious programming. Yeah, and we want to do that at the same time, really, as we are reprogramming it with this newer, more positive outcome. Yeah, and it is a battle. Your subconscious is going to rise up against you and be like, no, this is not the way that we do things. We don't believe these things. This is not the way we've acted. This is not what has kept us safe up until this point. And it will be difficult to step out. You're going to struggle with these two different kind of sides of yourself, the filtered and the unfiltered. right? The scared and the not scared. Yeah, or the scared and not going to do anything, and the scared and don't give a crap, I'm going to do it anyway. So these two different new sides of you that are going to start coming out, and it is something people don't talk about when it comes to visualization. It's people don't talk about this when they talk about manifestation. You just turn up and here, write down these numbers, and you're going to get what you want. So let's get down to just a few notes here when it comes to the best practices for visualization. So as we've already discussed, the more vivid, the better. Yeah, you want to engage your brain to look for colors. What do colors of things look like in this visualization? Then you want to step into those senses. What do things sound like, smell like, taste like, touch like, feel like, whatever, right? And then you want to do that with your emotions as well. Your emotions are another sense. What are you feeling? And what does that emotion feel like? You can use your brain and that computer database you have to remember what it feels like to be ecstatically happy, right? And to know how you would respond if that were the case. Yeah? Usually I see myself, like in my bigger dreams, I see myself picking up a pillow and screaming into a pillow. That's something I do when I just get so excited. I can't, and I don't want to scream out loud in front of everyone's face, so I usually put a pillow on my face and I just scream and scream and scream. My whole body tenses up. Ugh. I just get so, like, it's too much, so I kind of have to. And that's what I see myself doing in the visualization. This is what you want to be doing. Number one, you want to vivid detail, as vivid as you can possibly make it. Number two, engage those senses. And number three, engage those emotions beyond those senses, which is kind of just another sense, right? And then finally, after you've visualized, I mean, we're going to talk about the aftermath here as well, but number one is taking action here. You're taking intuitive action when you feel guided to take action. But you cannot sit and visualize your perfect romance appearing in your life and then not engage with anybody or just wait for it to turn up at the doorstep. Do you know what I mean? Now, the most important part when it comes to the aftermath is the ability to let go of expectation. If you are visualizing something happening within a certain time frame, unless this is a deadline, we really should not be applying timelines to things, right? Unless it's like, am I going to get this promotion that people are applying for and it's by the end of the year? Okay, fine. Like, you can visualize, like, that's fair enough. It's already got a specific timeline, but don't apply one to it yourself, right? Like, finding love in the next 2 weeks. It's just the likelihood and the subconscious programming that is already still in place is just going to make it very, very warped, right? So we want to try and let go of those expectations of the when, the who, the where, the how. Focus on what it will feel like when it has happened. What will you act like when it has happened? What will you go to sleep, wake up, listen to music, eat food, wear your clothes, hang with your friends, talk to your co-workers, and all of those other things like if your dream came true? And that's what we want to adopt here. Not specific timing and specific person and specific this and specific that. The only specificity you have any control over is yourself. All right, so let's get into this week's homework, which is just going to be, you guys, we're going to do some journal prompts too, but they're going to be nice and easy ones. We're going to do this week focusing on a meditation. So you guys have got 7 days to be able to do this. I want you guys to practice over the next 7 days. I'm going to make it a short 5-minute meditation so that you guys can cram this in at least just once a day, just before you go to bed, just after you wake up, whenever you've got just a spare 5 minutes, okay? And now you guys are going to be able to choose your own goal or choose your own manifestation. But what we are going to do for this week, we will go into bigger things later on in the series. But right now I want us to focus on something smaller. An experience, a possession that you would like. You could even manifest for somebody else if you wanted to. Somebody just getting some good news or something like that, right? We're not going to go for anything big. We're not going to go for anything that is overarching. Because if we do right now, for those of you who are new at this, if we do that, we're already super attached to the outcome. We want to try and practice this. Just practice right now with something we're not super attached to the outcome with, right? Because that's going to help us be able to let go of those expectations of specificity, and just the energy just opens up. It's magical. You guys will see for yourself, okay? So this is going to line up here with your journal prompts, okay? So you just have one journal prompt, you guys. It is, what am I going to try to manifest, right? What am I going to try to manifest with this meditation? And then specifically, how will I feel, right? Now you can separate it into 2 sections if you want, but I kind of just going to keep it as one question. What am I going to manifest this week? And how will it feel once it happens, right? I want you to write down as much detail. Use the comment section as always for your journal if you want to. You guys have an actual journal. I literally don't care. It's about this getting it out of yourself. I promise you, things didn't really start making sense and coming into view for me until I got it out. It wasn't enough for me to just think it and feel it in here. I needed to express it out into some kind of 3D expression. So you guys can talk to friends and tell them if you want to, as long as you are saying it in some way. Okay, comments, journal, message, I don't care. Just get it out of your system. What are you going to manifest with this meditation this week? Something not that you're not overly attached to the outcome. And how will that feel? As much detail as you can describe. How will you act? What kind of expression will you have during your days? How will you talk to people? Right? And then what that's going to do is it's going to help you specify that before we go into the visualization. So you've got that in mind as you're going in there. So when it's time to go, okay, let me lock into my senses, my emotions, and what it's going to feel like, you've got the information. Boom. Biff, bap, boom. Okay? And then in 7 days, you guys are going to come back and tell me the results. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Meditation doesn't happen overnight, you guys. It takes a while to practice these things and sort of learn how to switch our 3D existence off is kind of the best way I can put it, right? That's probably the best way I can put it. So there we have it, you guys. It's the first tool for practical manifestation, which is visualization. It is my number one. It is my favorite. It's my strongest. It's not necessarily going to be your strongest, but I recommend that you still at least have a try, practice. You have nothing to lose. This is about curiosity. Not, this is going to happen, otherwise I won't be happy, but I wonder what will happen. Just from giving it a go, I wonder. In the next episode, we're going to be having a look at my second favourite, which is scripting. I am a writer. I love to express myself through word, and I absolutely love the idea of scripting. I kind of have a little bit of a unique way of doing it. So I'm really excited to teach you guys about that as well. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like and the subscribe and the notification bell. You will always be informed when the next video is up, which I've changed to Fridays now, you guys, just to give myself a little bit of space and time, because there's a lot going on. Life is filling up. Yay, bring it on. Bring it on. I love you guys so much. To my TikTok fam, I will see you guys over there really soon. If you're not over on TikTok, come and join us. Down below is everything that you need to find out all about the World of Filara. This is just one tiny little corner of it. Come follow me on my other channel at the World of Filara. Come check us out on TikTok, where we do tarot reads every single day, and it's so much fun, etc. I love you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.